All right, guys. So it is a pleasure. It is a pleasure to be here with everyone. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Mike Navarrete. I've been trading actively for the last 8 to 9 years. It's been an amazing journey. As most of you will learn, it's quite the roller coaster. And at this point in time, I've been blessed to be able to, be put on in a place where I can teach thousands of you every day for the last 6 years. It's been amazing to see guys. You guys submit feedback and testimonials, and I have them over 8,000 testimonials from you guys throughout the years. So that's been amazing to see. And just pouring in thousands of hours into you guys on the live streams, alongside a lot of other amazing people that we get to share the time with. So guys, the intention behind today's session really is for you to trade efficiently. So you do not have to be a slave to the market, to the charts, to your computer, because at the end of the day, did you really take all of this time to learn this skill just so that now you're giving 8 hours of your life to a screen? No, right? And believe me, that it doesn't have to be that way. I actually thought that's kind of how it worked before, and found out that there's pretty cool ways to trade smart, right? So that you can trade based on your schedule. So you're doing things that go along with your lifestyle instead of vice versa. And I'll give you guys some examples. Throughout the last, I'd say throughout the last 4 years, I've been kind of traveling nonstop. And the good thing about doing that is that the income goes along with you. So the beautiful thing about the markets is that they're open 24 hours a day. And especially if you're trading crypto, you get 24/7. So, but the beautiful thing is, regardless of where you're at in the world, you can customize your trading style. You can customize your trading schedule so that everything kind of plays out when you need it to. So for example, when we're in Europe, we trade New York Open. So that's kind of what I do. I'll give you guys a baseline of what I do, and then you guys will be able to kind of customize and do things that relate to you. So when I'm in Europe, right, we're trading around, I think it's around 2:30, 3:30, kind of depends on what country, because we're trading New York Open. All right, that's what works best for us. Yeah, I'll share the recording, of course. It'll be on my YouTube. And so when we were, for example, we were just in Thailand for about 6 weeks. And so we were trading around like 8 to 9 p.m., 8 to 10 p.m. And so cool. We were able to work our schedule so that we could do it at that time. Now, maybe for you, it's the opposite. Maybe right now you have a specific concrete schedule based on your job, based on your responsibilities, your children, significant others, your business, employment, whatever it is that you're doing. So some of you, and let me get a good idea here in the chat. What times are you guys trading right now? So in the chat, let me know, like, what times are you all plugging in? Are you trading from 8 to 10 Central Time? Maybe like in the nighttime, you're trading Asian session, Pacific time. I know some of you that are Pacific time, you're either getting up super early or you're staying up, or actually you're kind of trading at night because of London session. And so what I realized, like Pacific, we actually get a little bit more London session traders, and then Central and Eastern usually go more New York session. So I see London session here, New York. Some of you are doing both. Some of you are obsessed. I see that. I see some people out here that are from Europe. All right, so some of you, my European people here, hitting that London session. Some of you are night owls, so you're doing that London session too, 2 sessions daily. Some of you guys are just married to the grind. What up, Phoenix? I see y'all. So all right, and some of you have a window, 1 hour here, 1 hour over there. So it's different types of styles. So if you guys are noticing, like if you scroll through this, I'm seeing New York and London, 9 a.m. weekend. Some of you only trade the weekends. You're trading crypto, and 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central. So that's Asian session. And so you can make this happen super differently. There are people that only trade London. They're doing amazing in their lives with this. And there's people like me that I only trade New York Open. I'm on the charts an hour to 2 hours a day max. So we're going to go into some of these things and how you can actually, some of you are on way too much and some of you are on maybe just the wrong times. And so let's make it so it works for you. And guess what? I got visuals today. I got visuals for y'all. Because not because I'm an overachiever, but because Nancy's an overachiever. And I'm totally stealing something that she designed. We did it together before, but I'm totally stealing it today. So that being said, I'll give you guys, I'll show you what we're going to do here. And we did this training a few months ago, a version of this, and tweaked it a little bit for you guys. But first, in order to really trade smart, you have to know when can you trade, right? Now, here, there's two things that you can do here. And I'm just going to keep it, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. And so hopefully, if I don't hurt your feelings, then then you maybe missed it. But the idea is for someone to get offended during this session. But so how do you know when it's your time to trade? Now, there's two things that usually happen. Either you're living a schedule that you don't enjoy, and that's your choice. And then you're trading at weird times because that's just what you decided you want to do. Again, at any moment in time, you can actually change that. And or you're consciously trading what actually works best for your personality. And that's really what I want for you guys, is to be able to do what really works for you, what works better. And so with that being said, we'll start out with, you already have your ideal schedule. Okay. And then we'll go into, I feel attacked already. Oh, perfect. Okay. So guys, you already dropped what times you're currently trading. And so I want to make sure you're trading the right things. Because every once in a while, especially in our live sessions, you guys want me to look at certain pairs that it just doesn't make any sense. There's no volatility at those times. And your trading actually might be suffering because you're trading the right pairs at the wrong times. So if we're trading New York session, this is really what you want to look at mostly. So New York session is 8 to 9 a.m. Central, right? That's kind of the kickoff, and it lasts for 8 hours or so. Now Eastern time, that's 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So that's right. That's kind of the beginning. Eastern, we're talking 9:30 a.m. Eastern time is New York Open. That's when we get the volatility for indices, the dollar pairs, Canadian pairs. Same thing goes. So it's 8:30 Central, 6:30 a.m. Pacific. So that's when the fun begins, right? That's when all of a sudden, yeah, the market's moving, we get excited, and that's also when the most mistakes happen. Yeah. When you're most excited, when you're most emotional, when there's the most movement is when we can be triggered to do things that we're not supposed to do. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But okay, New York session, we're talking Canadian and US dollar, right? So Canadian dollar and US dollar, if you're trading foreign exchange. Now, if you're metals, you're looking at gold, silver, oil also gets some nice volatility around this time. And my personal favorites, which are indices. We're talking Dow Jones, right? US 30, NASDAQ, NAS 100, and S&P 500, which, S&P. So pretty straightforward. But that's really what you can focus on. Now, we'll go into a couple other things here in a bit, but I focus on indices because I can be in and out of the market 15 to 30 minutes. I was looking at my numbers, and my average trade duration is around 27 minutes. So I'm only in the market really for 27 minutes. And that kind of just gives me a good idea. And here's the funny thing, my average loss, I know if I lose within, I think, like 2 minutes. So when I lose, it's very quick. It's over. It's just like, you're done. You are really bad really quickly. So, and that's cool. That saves me a lot of time, right? And go to the gym faster if I haven't already. So anyways, so New York session. Now you have to understand, can you trade New York session? Now, if you are in the US, This is sometimes difficult because what's the standard job here in America? The 9 to 5, right? That's the standard schedule. There's the 9 to 5 and the kind of the 5 to 9ers. So for some of you, you may be able to trade this session. Maybe you start a little bit later in your day. Now, if you don't, maybe you have like a blue collar job, you're a teacher, there's so many different jobs, but you might not be able to trade this session, and that's okay, right? If you're unwilling to change your schedule, if you're unwilling to change your current job, then, well, this is what it is, right? But the good thing is you can adapt. You can trade differently, right? And also, depending on how much access you have to your phone, you still might be able to trade with limits. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar, right, limits are pending orders. So you can kind of set up the trade and you don't have to be monitoring it in order for it to open and close. Now, in my trading strategy, I move my stop loss based on what's happening in the market. So I manage my trade actively. That's me though. For some people, that might not be your strategy. You just might get into the market, and once you're in, it's either you win or you lose, and that's it. But that's not how I trade. So for me, I couldn't really trade pending orders and not be able to monitor it, at least if I'm trading indices on small time frames. So that's like, I'm super involved. And for those of you that go on my live sessions, you guys know, sometimes we're in and out. Like sometimes it's a minute later and our stop loss is already at break even, right? And some of you know, sometimes it's 15 seconds later. Market just triggers our entry. It's flying in our direction. And then we're like, all right, guys, all right, let's protect this money. So if it is New York session, cool. This is what you want to be looking at. This is where your focus should be. You're not looking at AUD, NZD in the morning, right? You're not looking at Euro, GBP. Those are London session. That's Asian. Focus. All right, focus. And you also just want to know, what kind of style is better for you. What's the most efficient way to do it? For me, considering that, we have other businesses, we have just other things in our lives that we prioritize. So I'm looking at I don't want to be on the charts all the time. Right? I didn't give, thousands of hours of my life for skill set, the discipline to then be owned by the market. It's not going to go like that. Now, however, if you do want to trade indices, New York Open, and you are at work, get a new job. I know that's not what you want to hear, right? That's literally what you do not want to hear. But why do I say that? Look, the reason that we don't change our lifestyle is because we're comfortable, because we don't want to learn something new. I'm just being real. I had a conversation a couple months back with someone where they were making, their cash flow was negative. Okay. So they were making less than what it costs to live. And so they were going into debt. And I'm like, all right, so we can agree that this is not working. Whatever you're doing right now is not working and you can't help your child. Okay. So we got to do something different. And so it's like, why haven't you? And here, I know this person closely, so it's cool. I can be really transparent. And I'm like, hey, okay, why haven't we done anything different? It's like, then I got to go look for something else. I have to learn something new. So it's refusing to to get uncomfortable and to not know, right? To be in the zone of the unknown. Dangerous place for most people's mindset. But I'm like, look, if this for sure is not going to work out, you have to do something different. And I'm like, go use your resources, find use your social medias to see who has other, cash flow opportunities, whether it's a job, whether it's a business, but something that's fixed income, right? Because you, at least for right now where you're at in your life, you need it. All right. 2 weeks later, reach out. Hey, what's up? How's everything going? Hey, I found something for $18 an hour. So just like that, found something that's like 30% more. Amazing. What's your schedule look like? Oh, well, I have to go in here. Okay, well, is that ideal? No, but I'm making more. Okay. So it's not what you want, but it's better. Still settling. don't take the job. She's like, what are you talking about? This is better. Like, this gets me out of the hole. And like, I'm net positive now. I'm like, right. But you're barely scraping by. You're barely scraping by. It's still not the ideal situation. And you're still not really giving time to your kid. All right. Another 2 weeks go by. Find something that's paying 20 something an hour. Schedule is infinitely better, right? Can spend time with, take your child to work, take your child to school, right? Pick them up. Life is good, more pay, flexible schedule. Life is good. Spending more time learning this craft. So it really took a month of conscious seeking different opportunity, right? Create a better fixed income for the time being in order to build the skill set, be more available, be more flexible, and also have a better quality of life. So if you're like, oh, well, I can't trade new recession because of my job. Honestly, I don't care. Figure it out. But you have to consciously go and figure it out. And I'm being harsh right now because sometimes that's what's required. It's for you to make the difficult decision, which is doing what you haven't been doing. And, I would love for someone here to let me know, like, hey, I did what I took your advice. Crypto volatile during New York session. It is. Yeah, it is. So look for something. I'm not saying quit right away, but I'm saying seek what you want. All right. Keep doing what you're doing. But hey, you're a free agent. It's your life. It's your income. It's your time. You have to decide what you want to do with it, when you want to do the things that you want to do. Because if you're shooting yourself in the foot because of your schedule, you are shooting yourself in the foot. It's not the job's fault. It's your fault. That's just the truth. And guess what? I'll just to give you guys an example. I switched up my income at the time when I started learning because I wanted to be able to learn on my time. I want to be able to trade at the right times too. So I work nights to be able to trade in the mornings. I changed my schedule up. At the time I worked for Red Bull, and that was like 10 to 2, 11 to 4, just weird, like middle of the day schedule. So that was fine. And then I worked behind the bar. And so I was able to, weekends work till 6 a.m. with just a bunch of debauchery in Chicago, but it didn't conflict with my schedule. I was able to focus on the craft, right? 45 minutes of transportation time. Guess what I was doing? I was learning. I was in the blue line, had my phone, just watching the videos, taking notes. But are you willing to do those things? Are you willing to change? Are you willing? You know what I did? Guys, it's called creative, right? Creative time management, creative finance. I restructured the scheduling process for the staff for my benefit. I literally, guys, there is no way that you have to be trapped. I literally proposed to the manager. I was like, hey, you don't need to have these people on at the same time. You have overstaffed at these slots. So you can literally have people show up a little bit later. You save yourself money, the company money, right? Because they're making money mainly on tips. So these people can show up later and these people can leave earlier, save yourself money. Guess what happened? My schedule was way better. It worked for them, but guys, it was for me, let's be honest. It was so I can show up a little bit later, but it worked out. That's just what I decided to do. So look, and you know what happened? They wanted to hire me as a manager because I saw what they couldn't see. And guess what I said? I said, no. He gets it, man. He's not taking no for an answer. So I said, no. Why? Because it doesn't work with my schedule. If I I'll make more money, but I won't have the time that I need. And so sometimes we get trapped taking what's good and we let go of what could be great. So just get creative, guys. If you feel like you're trapped, it's because you put yourself in the box. So if, let's say your career path, and you're like, Mike, bro, It's actually not possible. Like I actually have to be there at those times. That's my career path, regardless of where it is that I would be. That's the schedule. All right, cool. That's fine. I get it. There are some situations where it's like, this is just what it is, man. You can trade Asian session, right? Now, this is going to be a little bit different, but here's the thing. And this is what I want to show you guys. When you're trading Asian session, see here, you don't need to trade often. You just need to trade the right things. And so we have news events, right? Every single week. And actually, I'm going to break it down to the month so we can see this. Because it's like I look at month to month with trading. So we want to look at if it's trading Asian session, which is in the evenings, nighttime. There's opportunities every single week. So you can look at certain situations. Now, let's look at Monday, right? This last week here, or this week here. And what did we see? There was NZD holiday. So, okay, NZD, these are the three pairs that you're trading if you're trading at night. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and Japanese yen. Now, you possibly could see opportunities with indices, but it's not often, but it is possible. But just take a look, guys. Tonight, Monday night, 11:30 p.m. Central Time, there's news. That means that at that time, there's going to be volatility. We don't run away from volatility. We want volatility because that's what puts the market into position. These things are already happening. The way the market moves, do not fear the volatility because that's what just makes what's going to happen already happen faster. Remember, these markets are already programmed. So it's just going to make what needs to happen. Now, if you're trading irresponsibly, all right, if you're trading irresponsibly, that's different. No stop loss. Okay, be scared for sure because you can go wrong. Over leveraged, absolutely. You should be shaken because it could be really great or you might smash your phone. I don't know. But if you have stop loss, if you have proper risk management, if you're working with a broker that doesn't have crazy slippage, then you're fine. So, okay, here's an opportunity for tonight. Again, if you're an Asian session trader, you have opportunity tomorrow. Look at that, Monday, Tuesday, and then the rest of the week's a little bit lighter. Now, the market could still give you opportunities, right? So every night, like there might be opportunities, and guess what you do? You go and you just look at the Asian session pairs. So I actually have a folder. I forgot I did this. Man, you know, when you stay ready, man, life is so easy. So check this out. I actually made this a while back, and it's a folder for all the Asian session pairs. So here you guys will see it. All the Australian, the yen, and the NZD. So I'm going to share this in the chat for those of you that are going to need it. So here's a copy. I actually learned that you can do this not so long ago. So I can share this watch list with you guys. So here's an Asian session watch list. There you go. So then there you go. So now you guys have that, and that's all of the possible pairs that would move during the Asian session. I don't even trade Asian session anymore, but that is an opportunity for you guys. So for example, and I'm not going to really go over the technicals today, but that's just something that you guys can now have access to. And I'm going to share the same thing for every single session. So, but anyways, tonight, 11:30, that's the news event. So you might look at something and it might click. So doing a quick scan. Let's see if there is a possible opportunity here. I know I said I wasn't going to look at it, but it's the trader in me. I can't not look at it now. Let's see here. Things are running a little slow. All right. So let's see here. All right. And nothing that really interests me. But anyways, there you could look into it, look at something else. You might have more opportunity. But if we look at the month, you'd have one volatile news event, 2, 3. So tomorrow there's actually 2. So you have one today, 2 tomorrow. That's 3 Asian session opportunities. Next week, you have NZD 4 opportunities, Australian 5 opportunities, the yen 6 and 7. Let's see here. 8. So you have about 8 major news events throughout this month, not including what happened last week. Okay. So 8 major news events that you for sure will have some type of opportunity. And that doesn't include just normal market, because the market can give you setups without these high volatile moments. But for sure, there's at least 8. The average trader, I think, trades maybe 15, 25 setups a month. So that's more than enough for you to have a full-time job, business that doesn't allow you to trade New York session, and you can still trade Asian sessions. All right. Now, if you're trading New York session only, let me go back a second. Then these are the things that you would want to trade. Here are the majors. So I'm going to share this with you guys. These are everything having to do with the dollar, Canadian dollar, and metals. So you have this here. So this is New York session for forex. All right, here we go. There's the watch list. You click on that. You have every single possible pair that you can focus on that makes sense to trade at the time. And then I have indices. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete all this. Just send you guys this one. Sorry. And then this is indices, watch list. All right, cool. So there you guys have that. So New York session, guys, New York session to me, and this is obviously my favorite to trade. And I just want to show you how many opportunities you have throughout the week. Now, not every single red folder news event with the dollar and the Canadian dollar is going to give you a setup. Many do. Some of them, though, set up the market. Some of them trigger your entries. And, you know, that's the fun. And some of these red folder news events, they create the setup for you to take later. So it, you know, clears liquidity, you know, break structure. You see different things happen in the market, but it's what causes volatility in the market. So here's a quick example. So guys, Monday through Friday, we see New York open. So at 6:30 a.m. Pacific, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. For my people in Europe, you guys can do the conversion there. You're going to have New York open. And that's when the indices really start to see volatility. That's when the dollar pairs start to move a bit more as well. And usually that leads to at least one setup a day, sometimes more. But I say on average, you're seeing at least one setup a day. So assuming that we get 4 trading weeks in a month, that's at least 20 opportunities. Okay, at least 20. And that's only if you trade indices. More than enough to have a great trading month, trading career. Now, if we add the dollar news events, which also influence indices, and of course, those influence forex pairs, then just look at what you can do just trading New York session. So we already have 20 possible setups to the indices. Then we have here June 1st, 1 news event, 2, 3. 3 more opportunities. That puts us as 23. Friday here. Now there's 3 different news events, but it's on the same time. So that's just kind of 1. So that's 4. So 4 news events here for the dollar. 5, 6, 7, 8. Since the Canadian dollar is, you know, moves the market as well during New York session. 9, 10, 11, 12. Wednesday's gonna be fun. 13, 14, 15. All right, I just want you guys to see something, right? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's 22 different New York session red folder news events. That plus New York opens, that are 20. So there's 42 different trading opportunities, minimum, if you're trading New York session, whether it's dollar pairs, metals, crypto, because your little hack, crypto, New York Open's fun too. Just like indices, crypto, they move very similar, and indices. So guys, there's a lot going on in New York session. So even if, let's say you are mostly busy during New York session with your job, your career, if you can get at least one New York session a week, you can add that to your schedule, it's gonna up your opportunity. So there's quite a lot. But here's what I want you to understand. I'm not telling you that you have to trade a lot. What I'm telling you is that you don't have to trade a lot. I know you're like, wait, what? What I'm telling you is that you don't have to worry about missing a day trading. You don't have to worry about taking every single possible trade and looking at every single forex pairs and all. Guys, relax. There's so much opportunity. You don't have to force the trades. You don't have to look at 18 different charts at the same time. You want clarity, you want focus, you want concentration. And so the reason I showed you all of the opportunity is so for you to realize that it's abundant. It's okay. Hey, your entry didn't miss today. It missed by a couple points, a couple pips. You don't have to chase it. It's fine. It's no big deal. You're going to be okay. All right. If it wicked you out, break even, no worries. You're going to be good. So for example, like guys, like I get on the market. Let's say I'm in the East Coast, 9 a.m. Eastern. And based on what's going on, I'm done by 10 or I'm done by 11. Those are like my active trading hours. Okay. Now, depending on whether I traded or not, the next 15 minutes, maybe 30, is documentation time. So sometimes I'm on the markets for an hour, 2 hours, and then 15 to 30 minutes of documentation and or the pre-trading, like making sure I'm good, going over some of my you could call them affirmations, just reminders on what's actually important. But so like I'm getting at, guys, you're really only 1 to 3 hours, I would say absolutely max. And that's it. So that's New York session, that's Asian session. Now for my London session traders, obviously you have the same thing. There's hot hours in the market when things really start to cook, right? Things start to really move and you're looking to trade the euro, the pound, and the franc. And again, of course, guys, I got you on the watch list as well. Actually, I don't remember if I have a London session watch list. I'll be lying if I do have one for sure. Let me check real quick. I know that's the overlap. All right. Well, here's what you guys have to do. Look up all the euro pairs, the pound pairs, and the franc pairs, and you guys will be fine. So you do those and you'll be okay. So just make sure right then you're in your notes, euro, pound, so euro, GBP, and CHF. And then whatever those, if there's one, for at least one of those currencies, then you'll have some opportunity during London session. Now, I don't really trade too much indices as well. I don't trade too many indices, London indices, or not London indices, London session indices. So there's a couple that you guys can look into if you want to research for yourself. You have GER 30, which is like the US 30 of Germany. You have UK 100, which is the NAS of the UK. There's a couple other ones that are a little bit smaller, not as much volatility. France has one, Spain has one. But yeah, I'd say GER 30 and UK 100, those are definitely something that you can look at. I don't think they move as fluid, but those are opportunities. I will add that US 30, NAS, S&P, those can sometimes give setups during these London session hours. So that could be something to look at as well. Now, to give you guys an example as well with London session, right? So let's say you only can trade London, then again, guys, you have plenty of opportunities in the market. Like, it is volatile. I actually started out trading mostly London session because the pound pairs and euro pairs are the most volatile. So I love that volatility. I loved how they trended. And so that's what I would do actually in the beginning. So here's an example, guys, right? So let's look over all the London session opportunities for the month. So you have 1, 2, 3, let's see here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're looking at minimum 15 different massive trading events, volatile trading events. And guys, remember, the market doesn't need this necessarily to give you setups. This is just what makes these happen faster. So there's, again, plenty of opportunity in the market during London session. So much opportunity. So like you guys can see, guys, we don't have to be focused on catching everything. What you want more than anything is to have that tranquility, that peace of mind, and approach the market when the time is right. Okay. Now, again, what I was here to talk about was efficiency. The reason that I trade indices is because I can go to the 5-minute, 1-minute time frame. It'll respect pretty well structured. And we can, for me, one of my tricks is kind of just comparing the 3 different indices to each other and trading the setup that's kind of lagging. So, and you guys will learn more about that if you go to my bootcamp on Go Live. You guys can kind of see how I trade indices. I have a mini indices course there. But it's about efficiency. If I can, because it's all risk to reward, right? It's all time and it's probabilities. And so if we can get a 3-to-1 where you're making 3 times more than you risk, and that's happening, then 15 minutes, that's pretty efficient. So I trade indices because of I like the volatility. I like how quick it is. But again, you want to be trading your way. So if you have a hard time maybe reacting to the market quickly and you want a kind of a slower pace, then forex is definitely metals. That's something that you can definitely lean on. Again, and also if your trading is a little different, remember, guys, you don't necessarily have to leverage trade, right? If you're swamped, but the markets have their opportunities, then either you have the weekends where there's crypto opportunities, right? Again, you have different schedules, but also you have just investing. Some of you might not need to be day traders. Some of you might be better off being more so on the investing side of things and just kind of, like making bigger plays at the right times. With that being said, right, volatility is not something that we're scared of. This just helps us time our entries. And what you'll notice is like, what is the coincidence? What are the chances that there's this surprise news or there's this program news event and it just so happens to go to exactly the zones that we're looking at, or it reverses off of exactly the areas that we're looking at the market. So everything here is predetermined. So there's nothing to be scared of. It's either going to reverse off of the zones that you're trained to see. And if it doesn't, it's okay, because you have protection for a reason. And anyways, guys, to be the most efficient, you want to use your tools, right? If you're not using tools, then they're just features. Things are only tools when you're actually utilizing them. And so here's what I do. Whenever the market leaves me a setup that I like, guess what I do? I use alarms, right? I use trading view alarms. So, for example, go to indices, go to US 30 here. And so just today, here's what happened. Today, I was waiting for a setup with US 30. I'll go back real quick here and just kind of show you guys what I was waiting for. And so I wanted to see a sell off on US 30, and I wanted to see it up here. Now I knew the zone that was valid to sell from was right here, this huge zone. Okay, I knew that, but I'm like, you know what? I want the market to get above into this imbalance before I even think about selling anything. So what did I do? I put an alert right here. This was at around 9 in the morning. Guess what I did? After I saw the market go down here and chopped up at around 9:30, I had my alert set up. You know what I did? I got off of my computer and I did the things that I needed to do. And guess what happened? Nothing. I didn't get an alert. So guess what I did? I didn't trade anything. I didn't even go back and look at the market. Why? My alert didn't go off. Otherwise, I would have been stuck just looking and waiting and maybe just forcing things that aren't there. So that's okay. Everything's all right. But use your alerts. Now, there are different like features, like you might have, like if you want more alerts and you want to do it through trading view, I think you have to upgrade your accounts. And it's just based on what you need. But I think like the bare minimum, which is like Trading View Pro. I think that's the first paid one. And this is not a referral or anything like that. I'm just letting you guys know. I think it's $15 a month or something. And then you get like 10 or 15 alerts or something like that. I have premium, but yeah, alerts, exactly. They're buying yourself your time back. And so you can use that, use that with certain things. Because here's the thing, I trade setups. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I do. I trade setups in the market. So I just need to get the market to go back to my zone, then I can do it. Again, you can also use limits. If that's your part of your trading strategy, then you can use pending orders where you just like, all right, market goes. Also, we went over how many news events there are, right? And you see all month, there's tons of events. If you go just to today for this week, here's what you can do. Hey, look, it's Sunday. If you know you're trading certain sessions, then set up alarms before the news event. So let's say I'm an Asian session trader. Okay, I'm going to set an alarm at 11:15 so that I know I just get another reminder. Oh yeah, there's that news event at 11:30. Let me go check out what's going on in the market. All right, if I'm trading New York session this week, cool. All right, it's in the morning, so you don't really need an alert. Oh, I know I'm going to look at the market around 8 a.m., maybe a little earlier. But if you know there's a news event at 9, 11, 1 in the afternoon, put an alert. If there's one before New York Open, hey, 7:30 a.m., let's put an alert at 7:15. That way you're just, and not an alert on TradingView, an alarm on your phone. All right, on maybe you're doing it like on a physical separate alarm that's super annoying. Now don't go too crazy with your alarms, especially if you live with other people or if other people are near you, because it sucks. It really sucks. And if you know you snooze alarms, especially if you're a New York session trader, you got to figure it out, man. You got to get your life together. And I'm taking a shot at my boy John. I don't know if he's on this call right now, but I'm taking a shot at John Noriega. That's my boy. But you have to understand, right, what works and what doesn't. And if some of you are like, actually, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you have a tendency to oversleep or wake up late. This is part of the process, right? Yes, I do 100%. All right, guys, I'm going to change your life. Are you ready? Here's what you're going to do. Go to bed early. Crazy. No, it's revolutionary tactics. Set an alarm to go to bed. Set an alarm to go to bed. Not just to wake up, but set an alarm to go to bed. And this is actually was like when I heard this for a certain time, I'm like, oh, actually that's kind of cool. Like I never thought about doing that. So go to set an alarm where it's like, hey, and look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Set it so it's real. Because what causes us to make actual changes in our lives? It's emotional impact. So that alarm, don't have it just say, hey, go to sleep so you can trade in the morning. Say like, hey, if you don't go to sleep right now, you're going to wake up to someone else's schedule every single day. How's that one? How's that alarm feel? Oof. Now it's like, all right, maybe I should go to bed, huh? maybe we should just get our life together. Shout out Shania at 3 a.m. right now to be on this call. She said, we ain't doing no alarm today. Where you at, Shania? Where you at in the world right now? But think about it. Like, hey, Belgium, that's so sick. Enjoy it. So think about it, guys. Like, all right, what do you do this for? Do you want your freedom? Is it for your family? Is it for, like, what is it for? And so set your alarm where that's part of the process. Because the reality is, and I heard this a while back, it's not so much what it's what you can remember, right? And sometimes we know we've heard some of these things. You guys have probably heard a lot of what I've said so far, but right now you're like, oh, or like, wow, that hits. But it's because it's reminding you of what maybe you already knew. And so we want reminders that carry an emotional charge. And that's what makes a difference, whether it's towards the things that you want in life or whether it's away from the things that you don't. For me, that works better for me. Hey, I don't want to see this happen or live this type of way. So let me do the things that I got to do. So, so set it up. And again, you don't have to be a morning person to trade. You might, if you're a night owl and naturally that's your creative state, and you already have decided, all right, I'm not going to trade New York session, then do that. But if you can't do both in a healthy fashion, eventually mistakes will be made. And I see that happen a lot. People want to do London session and New York session, and you do them both terribly because you're exhausted and you think that you're cheating the game. But like, that's what I did. In the beginning, I was trading London and New York, but I could do it because I didn't have responsibilities until like at night. So my sleep schedule was completely different. But then there was times where I couldn't do that, but I was still trying to force London session trading, New York session trading. And I was drinking like 3 to 4 Red Bulls a day. One, because I had an infinite supply because I worked there. 2, because I was 21 years old and an idiot. And 3, because I just broke all the rules. I didn't care. I was like, I'm going to do what I need to do. But the reality was it's not sustainable. And we're here to trade forever. Remember, this is an infinite game. So is it worth it? The days of youth. Yeah, it'll catch up to you for sure. Because that's what I did for so long. And then eventually it was just, you burn. And so anyways, guys, once you know kind of your schedule, the last thing you really need to understand is your style of trading. Understand your tendencies, understand your mindset, and you'll be able to do this. And we're going to wrap up here. And you guys can screenshot this if you want. But it depends. If you are by nature an anxious person, then you probably just want to be in the market, in and out of the market. You want to have very, very, very specific rules so that you follow them. You're probably focused. If you prefer to be in and out, then indices is what I would recommend. Now, if you're an intraday trader where you feel okay being in a trade for a couple hours, you're on the 5-minute, 15, 1 hour, maybe 4 hour to help you with structure. Okay. These are people that have low patience. You're not, a goldfish, but you have some type of patience. This is, and just being real, we're programmed to have less and less power over attention by design. Guys, do you think that TikTok and IG and all of these things why do you think there's short form content is so much more popular now? It's because we're being programmed to just be little goldfish swimming around, like, oh, what's up here? What's up here? What's going on here? It's by design. It sucks. It's not that Gen Z and millennials are just knuckleheads. It's that's the game. That's the media game that's been pushed. Can that change? Of course. Absolutely. But that's just by nature. That's what happens. The swing traders and position traders are so rare now because we're not bred to have that level of patience. But if you do, right, if you do have good, more patience and it makes sense for you and you just enjoy that style, then cool. You can swing trade, position trade, and, also just be mindful of what kind of accounts you're trading. what swap looks like, if you can hold over the weekends and things like that. But understand your trading style. A lot of people try to be a trader that they're just not meant to be right now. Maybe later, but maybe like, hey, you're trying to be a swing trader because someone told you that that's what professionals do. And no, that's not true. You do what works best for you. Same thing goes with strategy. You're not here to trade. Like, you might not be able to trade my strategy exactly the same because your personality might be a little different. So don't try to copy someone that you maybe just are different to. All right, guys. So with that being said, we'll wrap it up there for today. At the end of the day, none of this really matters if you're not reflecting, backtesting, and journaling, right? So understand your levels of discipline and then put that focus and emphasis in these things, right? It's not what you know, it's what you do. So guys, appreciate your time, appreciate your attention. This recording will be available here by tomorrow. And yeah, thanks guys. The longest trade I've been in, I've held a trade for about a month, but that was like 4 years ago. Now the longest trades I'm in are like maybe 3 hours. That's it. Anyways, guys, love y'all. See you tomorrow on tomorrow's training.